have you guys used those words again, the Indian team?
KG is a bit more aggressive on the field than I am. Maybe you should ask him.
KG, did you ever sledge any Indian player with a Hindi word?
Maybe not.
Okay, so great. This is DC Café, where we sip coffee and have conversations. And this year's first season starts with two of you. I mean, I honestly feel very privileged to have you guys. Very soft-spoken. Shades of same personality I see in both of you. Wise two wise men. So, I think let's get started.
Cool.
So, how are things going, Woakesy? Yeah.
Good, mate. It's good. First time for me in the Delhi Capitals camp. I've obviously been at a couple of other franchises in the IPL, but there's a good feel here. Good. Everyone's welcomed me in to the group, and yeah, there's a good feel. I mean, we're winning games, which helps. But even before the tournament had started, I felt like there was a good vibe going on. So yeah, I'm enjoying my time. It's been good.
Like I told you, it doesn't feel like we know you only for 25-30 days. It feels like you have been part of this team for much longer.
Yeah, well,
it goes to you.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but and maybe that's credit to everyone. But I think last year obviously didn't work for me. I was hopefully going to come, but then I have family and had another baby girl, so that didn't quite work out. But great to be here now, and great to be in the DC CAF. So all good.
And KG, he's one of the most familiar faces.
Yep.
In our team. KG's been with us forever now. And KG, we hope to see you in DC colours till IPL lasts.
Yeah, that would be ideal. Yeah, so depends on the owners. The coach.
Yeah. So how's it been, KG? Things have been tough for all of us, right? Back home, things have been good with you?
Yeah, so the cases back home have actually dropped. So you're looking at about a few thousand, so like 1,000 cases, 1,000 to 2,000 cases, if I'm not mistaken, a day. Yeah, so there's a lockdown back home, curfew at 12. So you are still allowed to go out, just be back home by 12 a.m. that is. And yeah, I would say that everything's good with family. Obviously the virus is quite hectic because it's costing people their lives, it's taking away family members' lives, it's taking away jobs. So it's not that great, but it seems as if things are getting better. That's just the way that I read it, ever so steadily. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Things are slowly getting back to normal, that's what I can say.
Right. Over here, KG, a lot of people don't realize, some people feel we are still in a secure environment, but mentally there's always this pressure, or let's say you're worried about your family, right? Back home, how are they? Are things okay with them? And then you have to think about your cricket. It's a competitive tournament, right? You're traveling, you're playing the next day. There's so much happening. So how do you deal with all this, like both of you?
I think we've obviously both played international cricket for quite a while, and then obviously you come into this now environment with the bio bubbles. I think we're kind of been in enough now that we kind of get used to it, I think. But I think we try, and I'll speak for myself, I don't know what KG thinks, but I feel like you almost have to get on with it. That we're in this tricky situation that the whole world is in at the minute. It's not ideal. People, as KG's mentioned there, people are losing family members. People's lives are being turned upside down. I think we have to kind of look at it with some perspective. We're quite fortunate that we still get to play cricket. There's people out there that are really struggling. We're obviously in biosecure bubbles, which can be hard at times mentally, but we're also quite fortunate that we get to play cricket, and I think hopefully we can bring some entertainment to people. Obviously still watching the IPL on television. People are so passionate in India, in particular, watching the game. So hopefully we bring in some entertainment to people in the outside world who are obviously having some tough times.
True. Yeah, it's kind of tough, I love what Woakesy had said, dance video which we did, which went viral.
Oh, God. I got some stick for that from back home, I tell you.
I saw that.
The English boys were giving me so
I
much
know,
grief.
I know.
After every IPL match so far, and everyone like congregates on the outfield after and has a bit of chat. First thing people are saying
That's
to me
all
is
right.
like, "What were you doing? What were you doing?" So.
I mean, I loved what he said. If it helps bring a smile on someone else's face, even if it at my cost. I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
So be it.
Yeah, so be it.
Yeah, but I agree with what Woakes said. I can't add much to that. I
Yeah.
agree with it. Just have to get on with it and realize everything that he mentioned.
Right.
But even though it can be tough at times.
It is indeed. But let's talk about how we enjoy our time over here. Try to kill some time with Coffee Mafia. He's, by the way, the OG Coffee Mafia we have, the founding member.
Founding member.
Yes,
Love it.
Coffee
yes,
Mafia.
Yes. With him and Harshal, that's when it
KG
started
likes
going.
his coffee strong, likes it black,
Yeah.
likes it dark.
Yeah. So so last year, Coffee Mafia came about. So I got to my room. I was flying alone. So I get to the downtown palace. I get into my room. I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going to be quarantining. The next morning, I'm like, who could possibly be my neighbor? Because I hear people getting in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear some music or whatever. I get out my door one morning just to leave a tray outside. I see it's Harshal Patel. So I'm like, hey, yeah, sure. We sat on the bus next to each other in 2019. So we had like a bit of a relationship already. So then as soon as I got out, and then that same morning I heard Led Zeppelin. And so he keeps his door open. So he was playing Stairway to Heaven.
Decent.
And I'm like, this is a tune. So I was almost like, in the cartoons where like characters get lured in by smell or something.
Yeah, you
That was the
kind of like
music.
lured your way in.
You lured me in with that music. So
Brilliant.
I get in there, and then boom, he's busy brewing coffee,
Nice.
and that was the start of it, and
Decent.
that's just how
That's
it
where
took
it
off.
started.
Coffee
Nice.
Mafia.
Very nice.
Amazing conversations, We'll always miss that time. Harshal room 333 and I believe 334
Yes.
kg. So that's still stuck in my head.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Founding members.
Yes. We also hear that now Stoin has kind of retired since TC has been the man in
That's it.
charge. Yeah,
Mm.
TC is ruling the coffee game right now. So he's acing it.
He's the barista.
That's it.
I haven't had a coffee in his room yet.
So
Not yet?
Stoin likes his coffee.
Black.
He likes espresso, yeah. So he likes it black. But TC likes to pour his latte art, and that's
his
like
heart out
that's
in
his
the
yeah.
coffee.
That's where he gets his buzz from. Is from pouring the latte art. So
He made a whole video,
Yeah.
music video about
yeah,
it.
that's it. That's it. So he's really into that. But he's very welcoming into his room as well. So we should all pile into his room and have some chats and have some coffee. But no, it's very good. It's very good. I'm still yet to sample Stoin's, so I'm waiting to have some of
Let's do it
Stoin's
tomorrow.
coffee
I had
machine.
some of Stoin stuff
Yeah,
last year. It was strong.
I was going to
If
say. I
it's
think he
too
likes
strong.
it really strong.
It was
Yeah.
very strong, yeah.
Alex and Daniel Sams probably enjoyed it a lot.
Mm?
Yeah. I used to see them carrying 5-6 cups like in their hand.
Really?
Somehow trying to balance it. That's the amount of coffee.
Talk
they
about this batch here.
have. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
It's damn good, yeah.
Is this yours?
This
Is this
yeah,
yours?
yeah. KG
Nice.
recommends.
It's not as strong.
No, so it's
But
quite
it's
smooth.
just-
I'm not really. I like a little bit of milk in my coffee, so I'm just trying to get used to
Yeah.
the black. But like you say, it's not overly strong. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice,
So,
nice
so
taste.
these are the Indian beans,
Okay.
medium roasted. So it's pretty good. I mean, the subtle taste. It's not too bitter
Mm.
and it's not too kind of flavorful. It's in the middle of
Like a nice
everything.
balance.
Yeah, nice balance.
Cool.
Yeah. So now I'll need honest opinion of two of you. Okay. In the bus, the Indian boys usually play loud Indian music, right?
Yeah.
Did it annoy you, or now you have started enjoying it?
I don't mind it. I generally, it depends how long the journey to the ground is. If the ground is like an hour away, and that music is going boom, 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 boom for that long, then it gets a bit annoying. But if it's just a short journey, I'm easy. I'm cool with it. Otherwise, just put the headphones in.
Noise
Yeah.
cancellation.
Yeah, noise cancellation. Yeah, block it out.
But they don't play that much Indian music. Like
Yeah.
they would play Indian music, but whoever's on the speaker would accommodate, will try to accommodate for
Yeah,
everyone.
that's it.
But yeah, I don't have a real problem with it. But like you say, if like as Woakes says, like any sort of music that's just too
Yeah.
long, it can get a bit annoying on the ears.
How about DJ Hetty?
I was going to say Hetty's in charge of the
Yeah,
tunes.
yeah,
isn't he?
he's not bad. He plays a lot of Eminem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he likes Eminem.
He loves
Yeah.
Eminem.
Also a lot of hip hop.
A lot of hip hop and a little bit of what soca, is that what they call it in the Caribbean? But on the way to the games, I just have my headphones.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen you always with your headphones on.
he's in the zone. He gets in the zone nice and early.
That brings me to the next thing. Last year we had a Instagram live chat with KG, and we threw up some challenges at him. Few were saying Bollywood film dialogues, and he aced it.
Yep.
Yeah, one of his dialogues went so viral on Twitter, people just loved it. And KG, since then, like, how's your Hindi coming along? You've been learning something?
Phew. I'd like to say that I've learned a lot more, but to be honest, I haven't. To be honest, I haven't. I probably should. It's tough coming from a country with 11 official languages.
I was going to say,
and then
yeah,
having to
he's-
learn a 12th one. Well, it's not that I know 11, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But yeah, with time.
sure. And how about you? Like, apart from
My-
the swear words?
I was going to say my Hindi
Swear
isn't
words.
great.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't
No?
know what you're about. Yeah. Most of my Hindi is very offensive, so I should probably not repeat some of the words that the guys have been teaching me.
Who are those notorious
What a way
guys?
to put it.
I'm
Like
just-
Hindi is offensive.
Yeah, that's it.
You want some coffee?
I'll have a drop more, mate, please. Yeah, I'm just trying to think who was.
Swing it,
It
yeah.
was probably one of my first trips to India. We were getting
Want some
like
more?
yeah, please. We were getting like my first trips to India. We would get like the waiters to ask them questions, and if they had spoke good English, they would like kind of give us some words back to use. So that was a long time ago, like 10 years ago. So.
Have you guys used those words against the Indian team?
KG is a bit more aggressive on the field than I am. Maybe you should ask him.
KG, did you ever sledge any Indian player with a Hindi word?
Maybe not.
Trying to play safe.
Look back at the footage. Maybe you can see lip read.
Okay. Moving on. KG, you have been with the Delhi Capitals for so long. You have seen Shreyas, you have seen Prithvi, Rishabh grow along, right? So how's your experience been with them?
That's been great because I came in here 2017,
Yeah.
and we were very, very young team. Literally, our whole team. I think our average was like 24, and over the years, obviously gained players who have experience.
Yeah.
And as you can see now, we have that nice balance going. But even now, like, we don't have an old team. Like, our team is so fresh and so young. So it's nice to see how guys have progressed. Rishabh's playing for India. Prithvi's on the verge of playing. You got Shreyas, who has been there for quite some time. You got Hetty as well. He's young. He's playing for the West Indies. Myself. So that's always a nice thing to see, because we can also relate with each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
We can also relate. Yeah.
Yeah. And how about you? How's the experience been sharing the dressing room with all this?
Yeah, it's been great. It's good to come into, I think, a team that's been, so inviting. I think, you've mentioned some players that have been here for a long time, but then, when a newcomer comes in like myself, to be able to just walk in and kind of get on with everyone straight away, everyone be very nice and welcoming. That's been really helpful for me. But KG's touched on it. I mean, we've got some world-class players, and you've got some young Indian guys that, the Indian team's so hard to get into, right? Because it's a very, very strong team. to see guys developing the way they are, Rishabh's had an incredible, year or so, hasn't he? He's really come on as a player. He's always been a class act, but he's really starting to show his ability now more consistently. And he's doing a great job as captain as well, stepping in for Shreyas. So, really a pleasure for me to play with these guys. Pleasure to play with KG. I've played against him quite a bit. So yeah, really good to now be on the same team.
We have got quite a diverse dressing room, like people from different countries, people from different states in India. Each one is totally different. Any fun anecdotes you have in dressing room? Something fun you could remember of? Anything? Maybe you guys discuss Ricky's speeches sometimes, like.
Ricky's speeches.
It's been going viral. Like, this is your team now.
Yeah. There's, I suppose the funny things is the videos that we get from the analyst pre-game. There's always some funny videos in there. We probably won't share too much because we don't want the outside world knowing what goes on. But definitely some funny related videos towards like movie stars and things.
Just get the usual clowns as well, like Sam believes.
Sam is the class.
He has
player.
blended in so well, he's blended it.
He was
so
actually
well.
here in 2016, 17.
Yes, he started his IPL career with the same team.
He started with the same team, yeah. So it's nice to have him back. It's a blessing and a curse.
You know what's funny about Sam? So I've known Sam for a long time, obviously, with England and stuff. And I was getting stuck into him the other night. We were all having a couple of drinks or whatever around the table, and there was myself, TC, Sam, KG. I think Paddy Farhart was there. A few others. There's a few others that hadn't heard his jokes before, so he was just going at it all the time. And I was like, oh, not again. I've heard them so many times. He likes doing his Danny Morrison impression.
Yeah.
Right. Whenever he's had a drink, that is exactly what he goes to. His Danny Morrison impression. Let's get stuck into it.
We are going to be talking to him tomorrow with Stoin.
Yep.
The same show, like DC Café.
Yeah.
So you want this to be replaced with something else?
Oh.
What do you mean?
The coffee.
Yes. Alcoholic. Give him an alcoholic beverage.
Irish coffee.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Okay. Now let's get to nets. You guys have some fierce net sessions. You give it your all. What kind of banters do you have, if you ever do? Like, if a batsman has hit it and he's like, you claim, no, that's out, that's not two, that's one. Like, how does it go in the nets?
I always feel like batters get more fired up about that stuff than bowlers, right? I don't like in the nets. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It genuinely doesn't matter. So like, if he hits one in the air over there and he's like, oh, I reckon that's 4 or that's 2, I'll be like, yeah, okay, whatever. It doesn't bother me. But batters get so obsessed with that sort of stuff. They'll be like, oh no, that's not out. That's not out. I'm like, okay, whatever. In a game, it is out, but you do what you want.
Yeah, I agree with him.
We're chilled. Bowlers are chilled out, mate.
But what about when you go out to bat?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I feel like when you're batting, you think everything's runs. Everything's runs. It's not really, but it's just a batter's mindset. With bowlers are really different, but a batter's mindset is very different than bowlers.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not too fussed about that. Also, like, there's no time to like have all that banter because you're working on your skill.
Exactly.
And you're working like hard on your skill. It's like, why add that on top?
Yeah.
Unless a batter is coming out and just literally trying to slog every ball.
Yeah.
Then like it might touch you a little bit. Like, what are you doing?
The thing that we always have up our sleeve, and especially someone as quick as KG, is you can always bowl a banter at them. And if they keep trying to...
Or a beamer.
Yeah, or a beam.
He might joke around about that, but I'll tell you my observation. Last year, he bowled a bouncer to one of the batsmen who got hurt. And I remember KG in the whole net session didn't bowl another bouncer. I mean, little things, but kind of you see it comes out of care, right, for your own team. So KG, like, you remember?
Who was it? Prithvi?
Yes.
Yeah. There's no point.
No.
There's no point. Why? Like, what point are you going to prove?
Yeah.
Just, okay, it's fine. You got hit, cool. He's going to pitch it up.
See, he's a nice guy. He's a good guy.
He is. And it often happens, right? You guys feel you're misunderstood most of the times as fast bowlers because you show some kind of raw aggression on the ground. People think he must be always grumpy or angry. And this guy is totally opposite, as much as I know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I think guys show passion on the field, and they should show passion on the field. I think that's good. It's good for the game. It's entertaining. It means you care. That's the whole point of playing professional sport. You want to win. We're all competitive. But I think that goes across the board. Like, you play against guys. I mean, Steve Smith, for instance. He's England, Australia, big rivalry. We've had plenty of battles on the field, but he's a nice guy off the field. I've never really spoke to him much. Getting to know him here, he's a very nice guy. Same with KG. I've seen him fired up on the pitch, but deep down he's a good guy. I think everyone within the professional game kind of respects that, the fact that on the field you want to win. You're playing for your country most of the time. You have to show that passion. But off it, we're all. I think everyone in general is pretty much 99% of the guys are good guys, and
True.
You get on with them off the field.
Do you think it also, you can attribute this to the cultures you have back home? Like, India traditionally was a team who didn't show a lot of aggression on the field, right? But if you would have seen over the last 5-10 years, we are a bit more aggressive on the field. So is it something to attribute to the cultures of your respective countries, how you grew up, what sort of players you looked up to? You think so? Because I remember a lot of South African fast bowlers, we all used to hate them. Who wouldn't hate them, man? Come on.
They were aggressive.
So much aggression on the field.
Yeah, I think it has to do with that, actually. The culture of where you grow up and where you play. But then sometimes, it can be a trait that someone just naturally has. For instance, if you have a look at the Saurav Ganguly, was quite passionate like that. Yes. But then on another spectrum, Dhoni was very calm. And then you have a guy like Owen Morgan, who's very calm. Was there ever an aggressive England captain? Not really.
I suppose the most aggressive England captain probably be Nasser Hussain, maybe?
Yeah.
Nasser was quite passionate on the field, quite a few words and stuff. I mean, look at Ricky. Ricky was aggressive on the field.
Ricky was aggressive.
Always aggressive on the field.
Also, it depends on who's leading you.
Yeah.
And generally, you're going to tend to do what your leader tells you to do. Subconsciously, you're going to bring that sort of aggression subconsciously. Might not be like big telltale sign, but you're going to bring it on subconsciously.
Interesting. Okay, so I had a lot of more questions as well, but we'll have to wind it up in the next 10 or 11 minutes. So I'll directly jump into a few of your performances. If you have to think of some performances that shaped your careers, or let's say that were the turning point, whether it be a performance at the junior level, in the domestic circuit, at international, what would be those 2-3 performances you guys could think of?
I don't know. I think you look back on certain times in your career, don't you, and think they could have easily gone different ways. I think a big one for me was very early when I played for my county, so domestic back home. I was playing for Warwickshire, and I got picked in a game. One of my very first class games. Did okay, didn't do anything special. And then the following game, a senior player was back fit, and I thought I was going to be dropped and not play. And I thought I'd be okay, senior player comes back in, and I still got picked over this senior player, and I was like, whoa, this is they're picking me over this certain player. I was like, that's quite big achievement type thing. And in that game, I took 5 wickets in one of the innings, and then I didn't leave the side after that. It was almost like a big turning point for me. It was almost like, well, someone's believing in me here, and then I performed well, and then I didn't look back. It was almost like if I hadn't have played that game, who knows where I'd have gone, you know what I mean? Wow. But it's amazing how those sort of sliding door moments almost, I look back at that as being quite a big pivotal moment for me early on in my career, very, very early at domestic level.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, what Woakes says, because sometimes you're like, oh man, I feel so unlucky. As a bowler, you probably have been way luckier than you have been unlucky.
Yeah. So
it's just those moments again, like moments that could have gone either way but went in your favor for you to be here. But I would say performances for me, probably my first ODI game, that set me off nicely for South Africa.
I remember Bangladesh.
Bangladesh got a hat trick there. That was quite cool.
What a way to start.
I was like, who's this young guy? Whoa.
And then I would say we played a test match against. I got my first temper against you guys.
Yeah. Centurion.
And then
I was one of those wickets. At least one. I don't even. Did you give me twice? No, you got.
Nah.
You got me once.
Only once.
You guys have had your battles, right?
Yeah.
He's got me as well. And then I'd say Australia. When we were down and we lost Dale, he broke his shoulder, and then with a three-man bowling attack, 2 seamers, 1 spinner, we ended up winning the test match after being behind on day 1 quite considerably.
That's an incredible win. It was against Australia, right?
Against Australia at the Woakes.
Test
Tough
cricket.
place to play as well.
Yeah, the Woakes.
Nothing like test cricket, right?
That's why it's called a test.
Okay, and now talking about your bowling strengths, predominantly KG is known as the guy who bowls real fast. You bowl fast too, but if I'm not wrong,
fast.
But if I'm not wrong, your strength lies in swinging the ball. It doesn't mean you can't swing, but each one has its strengths, right? So how important is it in cricket to stick to your strengths? Like not trying to do too much of what someone else is doing, but knowing your strength and sticking to it.
Yeah, I think very much so. I think you all get to the level that you're at now because you do your skill very well. That's generally what gets you to where you are now is because you've done something very well, or you stick to your strengths like you talk about. So like you say, my strengths mainly are trying to get the move the ball in the air or get the ball to move sideways. KG also does that, but at a high pace. But you need to make sure you have that super strength, that you can fall back on, because you're always trying to improve, you're always trying to develop new skills, get better. But I think you have to, have that super strength that you can rely on, 90% of the time. You always, I think, you look at other people and try and pick up tips and try and pick little things that can improve your game. But at the same time, you always have to be, quite authentic to yourself and kind of use your own skills and your own strengths, which is almost your bread and butter, which you can fall back on and rely on most of the time.
How about you, KG?
I totally agree with what Woakes is saying.
KG is picking an easy route, whatever you say. So next time I'm going to go at you first.
No, but what he's saying is what I'm going to say anyway. It's the same thing.
Did I pick the wrong guys together?
Should I oppose him? Nah. Actually, Woakes, you're wrong.
He disagrees.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah. So you have to go back to your strength all the time, because that's what got you here. And sometimes you can kind of get caught up into what other people are doing. You sort of look at what their thought processes are, what their actions are like, and it's good. You can always learn, but you must always remember what got you to where you are. That's really important, and that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned recently, is that you need to do what you do, because that has got you where you are.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And related to that, just one question to both of you guys. If you have had to play the rest of your career only on one ground, which would that be?
Sure.
Day in, day out, you got to play there. Which surface would you choose? You can't say same, okay?
I mean, I think this is quite an easy question for me. I enjoy playing at Lords. Lords is an incredible cricket ground, home of cricket. I actually do bowl quite well there. I've got a good record there, but I think if I had to choose one, it'd be my home ground, Edgbaston. Too easy.
Same.
Too easy.
I'll choose the Wanderers.
Of course you would. Pace and bounce as well.
Yeah.
I've been there since I was 15, going in and out of there since I was 15. I've done well there. Can get a bit flat in one day cricket, but it's still nice to bowl there.
Making the batsman dance a lot.
Capacity, when it's capacity, it's electric.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just
an incredible cricket
home ground.
Yeah.
Home ground advantage.
We are getting to the last question now, and I'll probably have something to follow that up with. But what kind of challenges do you enjoy most? Like bowling at the start in the power play or in the death overs? Oh, wait, KG. Yeah, KG. So what sort of challenges you enjoy the most, and what gives you more satisfaction, like getting your Yorkers executed, or what is it?
Guess for me, I've had quite a lot of moments like that in my career, but like almost similar to what Woakes was saying. Sometimes even at a young age, like 19, you get entrusted to bowl when the heat is on, and each phase of the game has a challenge. The first 6 has a challenge, the death has a challenge, the middle has a challenge. But when the game is really on, and when the game is on its edge, and you have to come and you have to win the game for the team. And when you get across that line, it feels really great. I think that's the biggest challenge.
Same.
That's why I gave that look.
I think it's right. I think, I think as a bowler, the biggest, I suppose, most rewarding is getting your team over the line. If you have to defend the final over, particularly in T20 cricket, that's the sort of, winning that game or finally getting the team over the line is a really nice feeling. But, I always feel like that's the best as well, because most of the time the batting team, it's the easiest time for teams to bat, when there's no real pressure for them to come out and swing and just try and hit the boundaries and the sixes. As a bowler, you're really under the pressure there. So that's the most rewarding. If you can come out on top in those moments, that's most rewarding.
And let's say if you don't come out on top, in the age of social media, how do you manage? How do you keep away from those comments? Do you let it get to you, or you guys are pretty chill, like it's okay, we know what we are doing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, UKG, I'm 32 years old now. I feel like, years ago when I was a lot younger, I probably took those sort of things to heart. But now, I always go out on the field and try and give my best, for the team, for myself, for my family and friends watching, whatever. I try and do my best. So, if it doesn't quite work out, then it's not because I haven't tried or I've done it on purpose. We practice, we know we practice hard. We train for those moments, but it doesn't mean you're always going to come out on top and it's always going to work. And so I've just learned over the years to ignore those. They're the same people that give you credit when you do well, right? So,
True.
Keyboard warriors nowadays, they can say what they want. It doesn't mean anything.
You don't have to answer it, okay? Because I know he doesn't check his social media much. I mean, I keep waiting for him to respond, like even on WhatsApp. He's probably the slowest one.
Bit slow on the phone. Eh?
Yeah.
He's always asleep.
But I'll ask him one interesting question, which a lot of youngsters will kind of learn from, KG, usually we see bowlers getting whacked in T20 cricket. Let's say you bowl first 3 balls and all those 3 balls get hit for 6s. Now you have a plan in mind. We have seen a lot of people tend to change that plan and try something different. So what would be your advice to the young bowlers? Because it's in a game like T20, you're going to be kind of taken for some runs.
I guess it helps to slow the game down. Like for instance, when we played in Mumbai, obviously Kings 11 got off to a good start.
Punjab Kings now.
Oh yeah.
Punjab Kings. But they got off to a good start, and so it just takes a soundboard. You just needed that soundboard, and I actually enjoy talking to Woakes about that. And the South African team, I would have someone that I would speak to as well, just to slow the game down and then come up with a solution, because that's when you have to be clear instead of just doing things, like repetitively. So sometimes when someone comes, they can give you real clarity.
Okay, so the questions are over. We'll end it with a fun segment, okay? And you'll have to answer this, okay? No dodging.
Okay.
And we'll ask all the questions. KG will answer first, and then we'll come to you.
Cool.
KG, a DC batsman who you frequently dismiss in the nets.
Sam Billings, all the time. Outside edge. Even in India.
Sam is going to watch this and come back to you. How about you?
Sam Billings.
I was going to say I don't really get anyone out in the nets in this team, but yeah, let's say Sam. He's easy. I know his weaknesses.
And who's the batsman who smashes you the most?
Every batsman except for Sam.
So we're roasting him?
Yeah, we roasted him. But I'd say Rishabh. He whacks it in the nets. He whacks
In all
it.
directions?
Yeah, everywhere.
I don't really bowl much to him.
Yeah.
It's either I bowl to Prithvi and Shikhar, but they play quite conservatively.
One player you're in awe of with his raw talent from this team?
What would you say, Woakesy?
I'm just thinking of raw.
Indian player.
Anyone.
I mean,
Just a hard list to pick from.
yeah, there's a lot of world-class players. You know, I mean, I look at most batsmen and I'm in awe of the way they play because I know batting's not easy. I mean, bowling's not easy either. But you see some batters and I think, how do they do that? So I'm going to say, in the form that he's in at the moment, I'm going to say Shikhar because some of the shots he's playing at the minute are, you know, high quality.
It's a ball in funny space.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I'll go. That's a very tough one. I'll go Prithvi. I just feel like he's just got just a natural swing, high back lift, and just natural swing for the ball. Yeah.
It looks beautiful when he plays, right? All his shots, the drives,
Just
everything.
a
Proper
natural swing.
cricket shots.
There's no muscling about it. Just swing. Just swings.
Okay. If you could take one quality of or characteristic from any DC player, what would it be?
One characteristic from any DC player. I'll take Shikhar's presence. I feel he's got a good presence. When he bats,
Yeah.
like he's got a very good presence.
I'd take KG's aggression.
Nice. Moving on to the last thing. Your favorite bowling partner in DC?
That's easy, man. That's easy.
Same.
KG.
Chris Woakes.
You didn't say same.
Chris Woakes at the moment because we've been playing.
Fair.
Okay. And
Together.
yeah, I mean, it was fun chatting with you guys. We have to head back to
Chris
the training.
Woakes and Einrich Nokia.
Oh yeah, Anna.
Pace.
Sweetest. So we'll have to wrap this up. We have to go for the training session today. But yeah, thank you for joining. It was fun chatting to you. I hope I didn't bore you with a lot of questions. And yeah, you also know there's some superhero talk going on, right?
Yeah, I keep hearing this, yeah.
KG?
Apparently you're Chris Evans.
That's the chat.
Captain America.
I need to grow my hair long again. That's when it started in the summer in England. Stokesy kept saying you look like Captain America here, so
Nice.
it's stuck. It's stuck.
And
Ha!
here's another superhero of ours. KG, which superhero are you?
It's a pretty easy one. If I have to think about it. White Lightning. Black Panther.
Alan Donald.
Pretty cool. Thank you so much, and it was fun. It was a pleasure having you guys here, and we'll see you at training.
Cheers,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well done,
Well done.
buddy. Well done.
Nice one.
Good chat. Good coffee.
Yeah.